And welcome everybody, this is Kogus coming at you with another video for Star Wars, The Old Republic. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what I did to start playing ranked with different classes and kind of took the fast road. Not really something I recommend. I've been playing Marauder off and on every season. As soon as I finish up playing on my Juggernauts, I switch over to my Marauder, either just to get the rating or kind of get the weekly done. This season I actually got super lucky. I believe I can see it here. I've done Marauder gameplay, as you can see, off and on since season 9. Probably didn't earn any rewards in either season 11 or 12 and just getting bronze. This season, if I'm lucky, I hit 1300. We'll see what the results are going to be, but there we are, 1300 with 47 wins. And I just want to go over small things to focus on for ranked PvP, because it comes down to a few different things to improve on, and you'll be ready to start playing ranked. So on a different class. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is, most importantly, focus on a rotation. I watched one of Cease's videos to get the PvP rotation, and I learned it, wrote it down. And then I figured out key bindings that work for me. In order for me to play a class, I actually do not like using the same keybind setup for every class, because each class is actually played quite differently. Even specs inside a class are played quite differently. So I don't want to be like, well, this is what I want to do in this case for this little one. I want to have my mind set up with completely different tracks on, hey, this is a Marauder, so I want to play like this, and my keybinds are going to be this. That's why, if you've seen me play ranked in the past month, when I was playing different classes, I would stick to that other class for a while. I wouldn't just do a game or two and then switch to a new class. So with that being said, I found the rotation that I liked, and once I got that rotation, or once I found the rotation that I needed, I was going to find out how I wanted to keybind everything. Okay, and now this is the most boring. This is like the training montage of Rocky, right? It's really cool to see it, but it takes months, not really months, but it takes a long time to just be here. You beat up on the dummy, but I'm going to go over what I've done really quickly. I've already hit my frenzy just to kind of get that prepped up for my 30 stacks, and I'm going to go in. I have my rotation not really memorized when I start. I have it set up, and I have a notepad open, and I have my key binding set up, and I'm going to memorize my key bindings. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to open up. It's going to go 3, Shift 8, 6, 7, Ravage, which is Shift plus minus, so I just say Ravage, 8, 2, 4, 6, 5, 9, 8, Shift 8, 6, 7, something like that. It's more internalized now. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off. All right, so leap, Shift 8, 6, 7, Ravage, 8, 2, 4, is it 5 and then 6? I think it was 6 and then 5. 9, 8, 2, 4, Shift 8, 6, 7, Ravage, 8, 2, 4, 6, 5, 9, 8, and as you can see here, I'm getting into a rhythm. 2, 4, Shift 8, 6, 7, Ravage, 8, 2, 4. So I start to pick up the pattern. Okay, every time I hit 8, I'm actually going to be hitting 2 and then 4. So it's like 8 and then 2 and then 4, 8 and then 2 and then 4. And then I'm remembering that, hey, you know what? Half that time it's going to go to 6 and then 7. The other half it's going to go 6 and then 5. And then I'm just kind of going like this. And this is what I would do between matches when I first started, and just memorizing this rotation. There is a lot going on in ranked PvP, and you want to have your rotation memorized. You don't want to be like, oh, what's my next button? You really want to have a rotation memorized, whether it's the wrong rotation or the right rotation. You really want to hit the rotation as best as you can, just so that you have something going, right? And you want to get in that pattern. All right, I started out with just, I've already messed it up, and I kind of want to start over, and that was a good spot to start it because I hit the button wrong. But I'm not perfect at it, and I just want to showcase you don't have to be perfect at it, but you need to know what's going on with it. I'm strifing side to side with it, which is important. Once you understand the rotation just by sitting there and hitting on the dummy, I don't think it's a good idea to just stand in one spot. You need to move. In ranked PvP or in PvP in general, master modes and hard modes, veteran modes, you're going to be moving around your target a lot. You're never going to be standing still in front of it. So instead of just standing in front of the dummy, as soon as you get your rotation somewhat confident a little bit down with it, you're going to start moving. You're going to start wanting to do more. So I'm going to start off again. Shift 8, 6, 7, Ravage, 8, 2, 4. All right. And then at 6, did I mess that up somewhere? I didn't hit my 4. I hit 2 twice. See? And then you start realizing where you did things wrong, which is actually really, really, really good. You want to know where you messed up your rotation, how you messed up your rotation. So once you have your rotation down, the next thing that you're definitely going to want to do is look at your utilities. You're definitely going to want to look at utilities. Look up where you want your utilities to go for what you're doing. Ranked PvP has a certain set, and then once you understand the utilities, what they're doing, you can start changing things up, right? You want to have a strong template to work off of, and then kind of mold it and adapt to it. The stronger players have a set, like, well, this is what you want to do in general. And then once you have these specific things going on, either on your team or on the opposite team, then you're going to be able to do that. But if you just keep these general rules, you're going to go ahead and you'll be able to start getting silver, bronze on your off classes. This tune, like I said, has hit 1300, pretty much a bronze class for many seasons, if not even placing in ranked PvP, which isn't a big deal to me. I don't play Marauder, but hey, I wanted to get those weeklies done. I wanted to get some dailies done on this tune, so I gave it a shot. This season, I was a little bit more serious about it, just because of how bad the Jug was performing in the early season, which is why I actually got a lot of my off classes already done without the season end being announced. So once you have your rotation, once you have your utility set up, you want to make sure you have your gear. These are going to be all very important. I have a gear setup that's very similar to my Juggernaut, just not right the same on the dot. Alacrity, crit, 4K, 1200 alacrity. Again, find a good resource. Cease's video was where I found this information. I also looked some stuff up on Discords. Be weary of things that say gear the exact same way as you do for PvE. I do not trust that. I would never gear my tune the exact same way for PvE as for PvP. So just know that I don't think I have the right. I think I just go with weapon expertise because of this guy just sharing some gear with my Juggernaut. I just want to go with weapon expertise for his amplifiers. The last thing you definitely want to know is how to use your defensive cooldowns and what order you want to do that. And again, that's going to be something that you might have to just figure out on your own. What's good? What's bad? What do you hate to see other classes do? Or what do you think other people are doing when they're in your situation, right? A lot of times, it's the tactical makes a huge difference. Activating predation finishes the cooldown of forced camouflage. So you'll see a lot of Marauders go into combat. They'll force camouflage, predation, and then they have forced camouflage off of cooldown. Cool, great. And then they leap in, and they hit their opener, right? And then you just go with your standard opener unless you know that you're going to go with run something else for whatever reason. And then here we go. I'm 6, 5... 9, 8, then back 2, 4. Look at that. And I have it memorized. Shift 8, 6, 7, Ravage 8, 2, 4. Right? And I'm strafing. You know, I'm not actually using my Fury's power, if you've noticed that, just because I'm not ready to add that into the rotation. It's also going to be taken away in 7.0, so I'm not super in love with throwing it in there, but I'll throw it in there. All right, cool. You know what? I'm picking it up. I've got it. You know, 2, 4, and I'm starting to get there. All right, cool. I can throw in my defensive cooldowns, Cloak of Pain, and I'm just working it. I am going around the dummy. I am just practicing. You know, it's just a lot of practice of getting your rotation down. You need your rotation, like I said, to be your second skill, you know, just there, just done. See, I've already messed it up, but I kind of knew where I messed up. So I'm kind of like, all right, cool. I'm not terribly off with it. Just a little bit. Oh, I accidentally hit a camo there, but it's okay. And the Marauder rotation, the rotation that I learned does have a little bit of leeway in that you're not completely out of rage when I do this. I'm just barely holding on, but you know what? That tells me 2 mess ups in my rotation while I'm doing a video, while I'm talking to you guys and running around, showing some extra cooldowns, showing some extra stuff. I think that's fantastic. That is definitely a way to start working on and getting your other classes up to speed, up to par with your main class, your main spec. I know that is for me a little bit harder, but that's just a thought process for anybody who wants to try out a new class. Following for those 4 things: get your rotation down, get a key binding that you like, so kind of both of those in one. Get your utilities all set up, nice and pretty. Okay. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to know your defensive cooldowns, and you're going to have your gear setup. So defensive cooldowns was 3, gear setup is 4. Good luck to everybody. Let's go get some of those new classes, specs on the way for you. And until then, we'll catch you guys next time.